As a child, my family owned a wrestling school by the name of Ohio School of Wrestling. Through the Ohio School of Wrestling, I got involved with the sport. It was amazing. I graduated in 1980, but I wrestled with the likes of David Fisher, Ricky Stone, Ricky Sorkin, Jerry Levine, Alan Savransky, David Sternberg, Goldberg, Lapsley, Scott Peters. It was just great. A lot of characters, great guys. Unfortunately, my greatest memories would be losing in the state tournament 3 straight years. I blame that on him. At least 2 out of the 3 I blame on him. Yeah, one memory that really stands out was watching the David Fisher-Mark Zimmer match. I was a freshman, and I was sitting like right above the mat, and that one stands out. That was a special match. Well, David Fisher had hurt his shoulder the prior week in the district tournament to Oscar Eagle from Woodridge. And, he kind of fought back. He was dealing with pain, and he had to wrestle Mark, who, was arguably one of the greatest wrestlers ever, accomplishment in Ohio. And David went out and he took him down. He put him on his back. He was up 4 or 5-0, and Mark, turned it around and beat David. But it was just a great match, and it was a great memory because David, he was being a 14-year-old freshman, he was my role model. But I truly believe, other than myself losing 3 straight times, David Fisher could have been a 3-time state champ and should have been, but he had a lot of bad luck. Sorry, David. Well, of course, I have an older brother who didn't get to compete in the state wrestling tournament. He went to university school, but I have to say that as a child, he was my role model. He was a 2-time national prep school champion. He lost like 1 or 2 high school matches in the 4 years. So being my brother, he had to be my role model. He has become a lifelong mentor and friend. I can say I'm probably the only one who can say that I have coffee with Coach every morning at 8 a.m. And he's influenced my life, not only athletically, but as a father, as a businessman, as a man. He's been a tremendous motivator in my life. I value that more than anything. We have coffee every morning. He, myself, Rick LaScala, Chuck. Now I invited Scott to join us, and he said he will. He promised me. And, he would love it. I really value the lifelong. He's become one of my dearest friends in life, and that means more than anything to me. I've got to, got to know him as a person versus just a coach. Well, it's hard to say my contribution because, I did my 4 years at Beachwood and then I moved on. Over the years I would come back, for the first, say, 10 years I'd come back and wrestle with the guys, and I stayed involved. I coached at Beachwood a few years ago for a season. That was kind of fun. That was nice. But as far as my contribution, I feel like I could have contributed a whole lot more. My advice would be to just love it. Whether you win or lose, it doesn't matter. If you try to enjoy it, because I think if you really enjoy the sport, you're going to do well. You're going to persevere. And I would also tell them to work on all aspects of the game. Learn how to ride, learn the mat wrestling. That's one, learn mat wrestling. Learn how to ride, learn how to tilt. Watch Spencer Lee. He's the best.